out today, but I am very happy to hang out with you guys instead. And since this was sort of a slightly unexpected stream, I am not entirely sure what it is that I should work on today. For example, we could work on some more traits and some more tooltips that go along with those traits, or we could work on something entirely different. What that entirely different thing is, let me just check, might have something to do with how much, how up to date the build is on this machine. Let me see. Let's see. Like, Windows Explorer. Like, I just need to find out, like, oh, how is the build on this machine, and is it even in a good place for development? Yeah, hey Keister, it is me. Hello, Drum Original. Charisma 73, will we get to hear new stuff, or is it a secret meeting? I guess it's not secret, since I just told you about it. More like, oops, CD, Stonehearth, was just sort of talking to Tom about all the things that, make Stonehearth really cool. Like, what is it that causes people to be really excited about our game? What is it that, you know, like, what is it that we really want to double down on? What is it that makes us sort of like different from other games in our space? And I think, you know, on some level there's something very, very compelling about optimism. Like it's a very optimistic sort of game. So I think that was some of the things we were talking about, and that jived really nicely with something that Richard was saying too, which was that, you know, one of the things that he was hoping for Stonehearth, or that he would like to do about Stonehearth, is have it sort of express itself like a children's fable, like the thing, like sort of like getting back to the sort of stuff we were talking about last Tuesday about like what kind of traits people should have, and how we were like, oh, maybe psychopathic misanthrope isn't quite appropriate because that's really very specific, and it's kind of modern. Like, maybe the right way of thinking about traits and the right way of thinking about, you know, what is appropriate for the tone of Stonehearth is just the sense that there's a feeling of warmth to it. There's a feeling like, oh, this is like a children's fable. This is like warm and wonderful, and like when people are like villains, they're villains not because they're psychopathic misanthropes, but because they're like, you know, mysterious, like dark wizards who like secretly want to, like, you know, turn everyone into frogs or something undead. Or when they're bad people, or when they're like villains, it's because they're like, oh, that like really mean like ogre that lives under the bridge that people say eats children. It's not clinical, it's not ironic, it's not modern. It's got this sort of like old-timey like fable storytelling, not a children's story per se, but like it is deconstructed to the point where you could tell stories about it. So anyway, just interesting things that sort of like help us figure out why we build what we build. Yeah, exactly. Double down on the cute, can't go wrong with that. Definitely. Hey Mally, good to see you. So yeah, so you want to see random wolves in the woods eating random rabbits, raccoons, and foxes? Yes, that's very specific. Not particularly in the vein of Fables, but yeah, that maybe when you say that, like I see something very graphic, but maybe it's sort of like, yes, they run up and like, you know, they pounce and then everything sort of just kind of explodes. But yes, oh hey Mega Shub, it is good to see you too. For you, it's relaxing. You get the feeling of definite progress as you play this game, as seen by the wealth gained through items and the visual satisfaction of your buildings. Yeah, like, there is something very relaxing about playing it. Like, you start from nothing, and you continue to accrue stuff, and at the end, you've got something cool. Like, you've got a whole town that people live in and sort of, like can enjoy, and yeah, that's always good. Okay. That's very Rise Children. Blue, I probably want a kind of yellow. Kind of like a dull yellow. Maybe a dusty pink. Anyway, today I kind of wanted to make... I kind of thought it might be cool if we... maybe made an encounter or something? Like, we could also work on this stuff, but what I'd really like to do right now is make a bowl of kibble. Like, I know that's sort of like a non sequitur. It's like, why are we making a bowl of kibble? And I'm sure that this could be a much better use of my time. But yeah, this is really what I want to do right now. Like, I want to make a bowl of kibble, like the kind of kibble that like that pets eat. So yeah, let's do that. Like, I should probably mention that I have never owned a pet that was capable of eating kibble, so, like, hopefully all of you guys will help me out here. Like, imagine that this is sort of like a, like, I wasn't really planning on streaming tonight, but now that I'm streaming, like, let's go do something kinda relaxing. Let's see. So I imagine that this is sort of like, okay, well, here's 1, 2, 3, that's 4. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make this one larger. Okay, so like I'm envisioning something that's like a yellow bowl on like a blue rug of some sort, and maybe there's like a sort of like, maybe on the other side there's some sort of like hanging thing. Let's make it sort of like dark brown, like this. Like the sort of thing that might be like a cat toy or something. Oops, it's probably selected. I don't know about you guys, but I totally played this game called Neko Atsume, and so I was really shocked and deeply entertained to hear that people were thinking about making a movie out of that game. Clearly I'm just in the wrong industry here, or at least like I think it's very cool that there might be a universe in which like there is a movie like based on Neko Atsume. I mean, like, seriously? That's pretty amazing. Okay, so like, you know, cats love bells, right? So like maybe at the back of this thing there would be like a cat bell. Oh, hey guys, there's Joe Maxro and 8-Bit Crab, and it's good to see you guys too. Bruno Supremo. Yeah, there's a cat game called Neko Atsume that is out on the iPhone, and it's not really a game. Like, I would not call it a game per se, but it has a certain element of adorableness to it that I think of. It's just sort of like it's like a very, very, very mild. It's very mildly a. It's very mildly a a cat collecting game. What have I done with Yang? Yang is not here today, so I'm streaming instead. The bell hook doubles as a scratching post. Yeah, right? Like, that was sort of what I was thinking. Like, it's a bell, and then maybe, like, you know, just have a slightly darker, slightly redder, like, here in the bell. So, like, this is a bell, and then there's, like, a bowl for cat food, and it's all sitting on a mat of some sort. And let me actually go ahead and do this, and do this, and do this, so that the bell post is also all through both sides, even though I know that that will get us into trouble, like on top of the bowl, but let's just do this for now. Let's check it's working. Yep, it's working. Okay. Okay, neat. So we've got some sort of like bell thing, and we've got, right, okay, cool. Well, you know, one day we'll have pets in the game, and it would be really neat if those pets had something to eat and something to play with. So let's just do that today. Alright, well, you know, this looks faintly ridiculous, but alright, so our bowl was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Our bowl was 12 wide. This was a 20 thing, so that means that we want to remove like 8 blocks from some side of it. Let's remove 2 from here and 6 from here. Right, that should make our bowl roughly bowl shaped. And let's see. That's still, like, if this was a cat bowl. Oops. The bell is definitely not going to overlap on the bowl. No. Alright, there we go. Left. Right. Okay, so we know that the bell isn't going to be on top of where the bowl is. So let's do this. Huh. Like, take that, the witness. And then we just want to turn this faintly dusky pink like everything else, and maybe fill in this guy. Ugh, sculpture is hard. Anyway, so here while we work on this random bowl of kibble, why don't you guys tell me how you are doing? Like, how is Alpha 19 treating you? It was mostly about Rise Children, so hopefully it's treating you well. There shouldn't be, I think, too much that's... Hopefully there shouldn't be too much that's crazy about it. So yeah, what have you guys been doing in Stonehearth recently? Or just in general? Hey Black Cabin, good to see you. Yes, undo still breaks from time to time. That is a very good point. Someone brought it up with regards to freestanding walls recently, and Chris told me that he has an idea for a thing that should fix undo. But like, I mean, that's nice. Like, he has an idea for a fix that should fix undo for everybody, actually. And, it's actually pretty cool. So, like, if he's able to get that in, then he said that it should make undo very, future-proof, because I'm pretty sure that well, I'm pretty sure that whatever he does with regards to... Whoa, sorry. I'm pretty sure that whatever he does with regards to undo will be pretty neat and will make everyone's lives a lot easier. Huh, this will make the bell kind of weirdly shaped. Probably we should do this, right? And then this, yeah. Oops. That's kind of right. It could also just be one, and probably this is a lighter color than, like, it's like it should be a slightly darker color. It's like a hat. I wonder. I mean, like, it doesn't really need it. Get it darker here. Okay. So it's sort of like there's a bell, there's like a little, like, scratching post thing, there's a little bowl of kibble. Let's see if we can't change this. Like, this is fairly... okay. I know that like cat food, like pet food bowls are sometimes like bigger on the bottom than on the top, which makes me wonder if this would make sense if we did this. Like I know Tom has a rule about not ever having things that are, well, not ever, but like Tom has a rule about not doing things that are 1 pixel. So what if I did this? Here. This. Here. Something like that. That's like, alright, well. That kind of could persuade me that it was a pet food bowl. Let's also make the bottom of this darker. No, too dark. Nutella Day? Is every day Nutella Day? That seems like a good thing. Oh, hey Katisha Honey, good to see you. The music is amazing for Rise Children. Raj did a fantastic job on his music. Why don't I use Cubic Studio? That's a good question. I actually have not experimented too much with other voxel building programs because Cubicle works so well for us. So that's probably the answer. It's not a great answer. So if you would recommend it, perhaps I can give it a look. But this is actually even a much older version of Cubicle. So yeah, sweet. All right, what does it look like from out here? I think that is slightly cuter. And there we go. Makes it a little bit more like a shepherd's crook. This blue isn't quite right. So let's see what we can't do to make it. I want to make it more like the mat that the weaver makes. So probably that means that we should just go ahead and get rid of that. Move this guy down 1. Okay. Let's take these guys and turn them. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Turn them this color. Let's go back to the top. Oops. I don't know how much you guys have been following, but one of the things that we're working on now is like Hearthling happiness, which is kind of really cool because one of the things that it involves is finding like better ways of depicting how your Hearthlings are feeling, which is really neat. That looks too saturated to me. I want less saturated. Okay. This sort of, it's not perfect because I feel like actually the weaver's rug actually has some variation in it. Oops. Just to like make it look like it's fabric. Right. Okay. So got the blanket, got the little like kibble bowl, got the cat statue. Now all that's missing is the actual kibble. So let's fill it with some kibble. Let's go some darker brown and do that. Probably want some lighter brown to go with all that dark brown. You guys have to tell me, is kibble actually this color? It looked like a crib at first glance. Yeah, that would have been pretty awesome too, I think. But no, we're not going to have child Hearthlings in the game for many of the reasons that I've talked about before. In part because it's just like a lot of things can happen to people in a game like Stonehearth, and I don't want you to have to feel guilty because, you know, all the kids died or something. That would be pretty bad. Kibble is generally a lighter brown. Let's see. Go with a redder color than brown, since brown is kind of like poop, right? Right, okay. Make the kibble lighter and perhaps 2 tones. It's looking like chocolate! Alright, that's cool. Okay. Let me look for a picture of kibble. Aha. Okay. It's just great. Lighter brown. Lighter brown's cool. Alright, let's try that. So let's see. Starting more with here. And maybe go slightly reddish, you said? Like this? And maybe maybe that's too pastel? Some examples. Oh, kibbles and bits. God, this picture. I think I've seen this picture before and it's just too good. Okay, I like the contrast between the sort of like reddish and the darker, but that doesn't quite seem like the right shape. Two-toned. Yeah, alright. It's like liver, you know? Like, hey, we've been feeding our pets liver. Isn't that awesome? Maybe this is a little bit too dark. Let me get this. Maybe a little bit more like that. Can I show what the cats look like? Our build used to have like pet kittens in it. The darker brown is kind of close to the color of the bell stand. Yeah, I want it to be a little bit more red. Like sometimes Kibble is like multicolored. Oh look, there's like little pieces of fake meat. That's kind of funny. Alright, let's try this more. Oh, that looks kind of weird. Like, why is there magenta? Let's try again. Also, there's something weird going on with the monitor here. I'm not sure exactly why. Like we get to the red and like there's definitely bands of color that are seem a little bit inappropriate. Okay, this is more like a salmon. That could work. Like, it's like, alright, well. And it might be that the bell stand is a little bit pale. Maybe one thing we could do, oops, cancel, flip this. One thing we could do is make this just a little bit more saturated. Like, I personally like desaturated browns because I just think that they're more visually pleasing, but yeah, okay. That looks a little bit too red to me. Let's catnip, right? I think catnip would imply an entirely new kind. Yellow civvies that have two, making the brown yellers. Civvies? Sorry? That have two high. Kibbles. Kibbles? Yeah. Kibble's usually spelled with a K. So, sorry. Yes. The yellow kibbles have too high of a contrast from the red ones, making the brown yellow ones lighter. I see. So you mean this color? This color, like lighter, like this? Let's try it. I know, right? Like, what are the bits in Kibble? like I feel like the inner wall of this is just too pink. Like, let's try this. You meant darker, making them darker. Okay, so like going more this way. Thanks for hanging out, Mally. Alright. If we did that, then I feel like we should, oops, get this too. make the darker ones darker still, because I think everything is too pink. Yeah, there is this. I mean, because the bowl is pink, right? So... like, one thing we could do is... well, if we made the bowl slightly more saturated, like... although this is pretty adorable. Wow, that's terrifying. Okay. Yeah, no. There's something about that inside line does not read well. Whoa! Does not read well to me. Maybe it's also that, like, one expects this to sort of, like, have some kind of... maybe one expects it to have a pattern, like... yeah, anyway. So is this a decoration item, or does it have an actual purpose? I'm just playing around with the pet stuff at the moment, so let's see how far we get. Alright, let's save this. Art streams. Right, so new folder. Ali's gonna be like, why is there Kibble? But Ali's not here. Nobody is observing. We are like super powerful. Kibble.qmo. Like export all. Kibble.obj. Yup. And then I'm sorry. We don't need a sorry, it's not obj, it's qb. My bad. Art streams, Kibble. Right. There we go. That looks normal. Alright, so let's see. What could we do with the Kibble? Definitely. So, let's do that. Right, so what's the kitten like? Wow, okay. Ah, Shed was already going. My bad. My bad. Apologies. Apologies. Let's try this again. Shed was already running, so, it could not open again. Okay. So... like, these are just so beautiful. Like, I'm just really excitedly happy that these are now in the game. Anyhow. Alright, encounter designer, manifest, right. So, let's see, what would be, like, a good, sample? And I guess, too, we should, before we actually do this, let's make the iconic, which should be pretty easy, because it's kind of like just the bowl of Kibble. How big is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so if we wanted it to be a 10 by 10, it's a little bit big. We can fix this. Let's see, so let's make the height 10. Okay. And it's a 12 by 12, so it just needs to lose one from every direction. And we'll fix the contents of the bowl in a minute. Alright, so if I went back to model. Okay. Okay. It's 10. It's 10. Okay, cool. Alright, so this would be the iconic version, which is neat. Save that as and export .qb. Okay, cool. Alright, so there we have the iconic, and now we should make this Kibble object. What should I base it on? Maybe like, let's look for chair. Let's do one of these. Or how about one of these? I mean, like, it's kind of like a bird bath. Hyrule symbol says, shouldn't the iconic be empty? Like, there's too little space inside. Okay, let's take another look. Sorry, I wasn't reading. I guess you're right, because the iconics of things, like, don't really have. Why would they have food in them? Let's do that. No, I take that back, because I'm thinking that this is something that the cook makes, and so as a result, like, by the time that it's made, the food is already inside of it. So let's just leave it like this. Okay, but anyway, okay, so let us jobs cook, just normal Stonehearth, recipes. The crafters wouldn't make the food itself, though it does look better. Yeah, I think in this case the crafter is going to be making it as a, like, food dish, although it's not going to be a piece of food. Thought it was the potter's thing. Oh, that's interesting. I could imagine that too. But then I would have to write AI that would make it so that someone would have to come and fill it, which I suppose could happen. Well, anyway, let us keep going. We have 10 minutes. So peasant bread, cornbread, pollo pot pie. Alright, sure. Let's clone this with let's make it just Kibble. Clone. Okay. So okay, so, oh right, we should have probably taken a picture too. Let us save this. We'll go back to the picture of the kibble. Let me put in good old resolution gate. Maybe make this slightly more clear that it's a bell. Yeah. There. Okay, cool. File. All. Why do they all have .obj attached to them? That's just great. That's just great, guys. Cancel. Render as. Okay, where were we? Documents, Stonehearth dev stream. Wait. Desktop art streams Kibble. Sorry. Okay, desktop art streams Kibble. Right, let's just fix this. Okay, cool. All right, back to shed. So it requires, does it require the oven? It kind of requires the, like, what else does the cook make? Like, sheep feed, right? Requires Stonehearth cook mill. Okay. Let's do flour and pollo meat, and let's actually say that it requires a, let's see, Sublime, where are you? Download, cancel. Throw rug. cool. And then let's open the folder. Roast pollo recipe, yes. Right, okay, cool. Right, so save this. Now we look for Kibble. Mixins, item properties. So let's open this folder and replace it with stuff. So here we go. This is the kibble that looks like this. Place. And then we have kibble.qb. Replace. And then we have Kibble iconic, which is new. Since we know Stonehearth will get multiplayer after the core game is finished, how complete do you consider the game at this point? Any percentage, if any? I decline to think about that at the moment, Hyrule Symbol, but thank you for asking. It's a good question. Hopefully I'll have a better sense for you, like after... So Richard is here, and one of the things that makes that question a little bit hard to answer at the moment is that we're currently doing a pass through all of the existing core systems. And so, for example, like Alpha 20 is about refining the morale system. So there's a number of things that I can think of that we haven't started yet that I would very much like to start. For example, like Titans and like the Northern Alliance and all this other stuff. But like, in order to build a successful conclusion, we need to make sure that the core of the game is tight and really good. And so that is one of our challenges. So are we going to see this in game before we go? I would like that, but that requires me to actually finish this process of getting it in the game, so let us keep going. I know it's 7:04, so hopefully this shouldn't take much longer, but one of the things that, so let's see, so hey, why does item properties kibble.qb, right, okay, so the display name, cancel. And it is actually not a food container. Prepared food, kibble, stockpile, prepared food. It's actually not a food container. So let's start with that, and then let's remove this one from the manifest because we really don't need it. Okay, then I do want to make it placeable. So let me do that. What's a good reference? Right, so if I looked at something like chair, like the good old archback chair, Okay, so we have Kibble Iconic, and then we have Kibble Ghost, and we have Placeable on Ground, and that's true. Kibble.png. Let's see. I also need to make sure that there is a ghost version of this. So let's see, this Kibble Iconic, like wants here. So it wants Kibble ghost.json. And if we look at the Archback chair ghost, what is in here? Well, it mixes in Stonehearth mix-ins, placed object, type entity, components, model variants, defaults, mob, model origin, doesn't have stacks, doesn't have a collision shape, you have entity data, and we are not a food container. We just have the catalog, categories food. Okay. And let's see if that works. Right, so here's the Kibble Iconic and the Kibble Ghost. Right. Okay, right, because it also needs a Kibble Iconic.json. My bad. This needs to be that. Kibble Iconic needs to have something inside of it. Oops. Let's see. Hey Demago, good to see you. You like the normal chair. All you have to do is dismantle and make comfy chairs. Right. Kibble iconic.json. Alright. Simple chair. Entity, components, model variants, models, Kibble iconic, mob, let's remove the stacks, everything back down to entity data, and then just the stuff in the catalog, and is item is true, category is food, and it's the iconic, so it doesn't need these other things. I'm positive I'm forgetting something. But let's start there. Yeah, we're definitely still not correct somehow. attracts cats. Oops. Alright, cool. Let's try this. And let's actually use the JSON validator to see what's wrong. Drum Original says, I was wondering if you got my internship application. I may or may not have. It depends on where you sent it. I'm afraid that I haven't been paying much attention to internship applications at the moment, so if you have sent it, my apologies. Okay, that's okay. Validate JSON, okay. And good old Kibble.json, copy, validate JSON. Okay, so all of this is valid JSON, so it's a fair question as to what is up with shred, but let me try that again. So yeah, let me know where you sent it, but I'm not particularly looking closely at internship applications at the moment, but you are still welcome to send it, and it's very flattering to me that you, to us all, I think, on the team, that you would be interested in interning with us. Alright, so let us give this a try. And see if this works at all. Huh, the cook test is really adorable. I mean, like, look at this. Okay, anyway, where were we? Cook? Ah, here it is. Here's the kibble, right? Like, sack of flour, roast pollo meat, decorative throw rug, bronze ingot. So, requires a cook of level 3, requires a place stone mill grinder. Okay, so, cook of level 3, nope, sorry. Okay. Yeah, the baby poyos are really adorable. Oh my god. Alright. So she made some kibble, and you can place the kibble. And the real question is, what is it like when there are cats near it? So this could be pretty cute. Anyway, so yeah, so here it is, the thing that we just modeled, and that was how we got it into the game, and that was pretty straightforward. But it currently doesn't do anything right now, because, like, there's no AI that handles the kittens, or the kibble, or anything of the sort. Or having kittens eat the kibble. But, well, you know. I think it is kind of large for the kitten, honestly. Like, we could probably scale it down. I mean, like, the kitten could, like, fit in the kibble, but maybe the point is just that, like, I mean, we've seen pictures of kittens just collapsed inside their bowls of food, so why not have that happen here? Anyway, So yeah. So, okay, so today I wanted to make a bowl of kibble, and I wanted, in anticipation that someday we would have pets. This is not going to make it into the game anytime soon. I just did it because I felt like it, and I wanted to make something cute in front of all of you, and I wanted to see it with the cats. And, well, you know, now that I've made it, if you, like, need a refresher on adding any of your own things to the game, well, that is how we do it. Alright, so, I guess this is good for now, and I will probably see you guys on Tuesday of next week. The kibble would look better in Raya's Children. Yeah, that's probably true. Because, like, because it's pink, probably. I'm glad that you'll be playing it a lot. Please let us know how it is, and if you encounter any bugs or anything, please post them to the discourse, Nutella all day. And yeah, so cool. That is it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for hanging out. It is always good to hang out with you guys. All right, see you Tuesday.